Bruce Wayne for another one of my amazing stories. So in the year 2000, I graduated from graduate school and decided that I needed a change. And so I met a girl at the time, my girlfriend, and she had been to Hawaii, but I'd never been to Hawaii before. And so we decided, and I decided that, well, let's do something different. So we packed up everything and I moved 6,000 miles to the Hawaiian Islands. And when I arrived, I went straight to Maui. And Maui is, I know you may have seen movies about Hawaii and you've seen pictures of Hawaii, but here's what I can tell you about Hawaii. You really can't see Hawaii in pictures or in film. It really doesn't capture it. In my opinion, I've been all over the world, but Maui is the most beautiful island or place I've ever been to in my entire life. No offense to anywhere else I've been, it's just very difficult to explain how beautiful it is. And so we moved to Maui in particular, and in Maui there's 4 Hawaiian islands. When people think of Hawaii, there's the Big Island, which is really the island of Hawaii. Then there is Oahu, and Oahu is sort of the more metropolitan city. This is where things get done. This is where lots of business. This is where Waikiki is, and so people would associate sort of the Pearl Harbor. So Oahu has some of those landmark things that you would think about the Hawaiian island that you may have seen in some of the movies. On the other hand, there is this much smaller island that's called Kauai. And a funny story about that, I don't know if you remember that song, Puff the Magic Dragon, Live by the Sea, la 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 la, in a land called Hanalei. Well, Hanalei is on Kauai. And Kauai is, when they're talking about Puff the Magic Dragon, they were actually talking about smoking weed, which is, later on I learned that. And they call it Pakalolo there in Hawaii. And so on Maui is sort of a balance because the Big Island is, you have a volcanic area, you have desert areas on the Big Island. It's just really much larger than I think a lot of people realize. On Oahu, like I said, is where the business transpire and you can do a lot of shopping, etc. And everything is open for a pretty extended period of time, pretty much like you think of a metropolitan city. But on Maui would be more that look, that balance between the two, the one where you would think, well, what Hawaii used to look like. It's still not fully developed, but it's still developed well enough. And so it's just a really beautiful combination of places. I remember one restaurant, which I think it's the most beautiful view I've ever seen in my life from a restaurant. It's called the Plantation House. It's my favorite place to have a meal when you go there. And the meals are very affordable. And it's literally across from the Ritz-Carlton Hotel off of Hanohapi'ilani Highway. And by the way, that's the street that I lived on. It was called Hanohapi'ilani. You know how long it took for me to say Hanohapi'ilani, and then how long it took to spell it? So the spelling and words are very, very different in Hawaii. For example, there is a street, a road in a highway actually on Oahu. And Oahu is where Honolulu and Pearl Harbor is, for those of you who want to kind of get a sense of which island I'm talking about. And so there's a highway there that's called, when you see it, it goes like. Except it's not like, it's leaky highway. And by the way, the actual state fish is the humu nuku apua'a. Good luck saying that. So anyway, I moved to Maui, and while I was there, it was absolutely beautiful there. It's like sitting in the Plantation House restaurant and having a meal. And I remember looking out, and the view is always the same, beautiful. It's sort of on a golf course, and so there's green and lush and tropical plants everywhere around you. You're sort of up in the mountain a little bit, and so you're kind of looking downward. And so when you're looking down, first of all, behind you, you can see the rest of the mountains up high, and it's beautiful. And then when you look down, you look across, and the Ritz-Carlton Hotel is across there, and and when you look out, there's lots of tropical plants and trees and smells. And then there's or there's in the distance, it almost looked like it's not like on the moon over there. And then the wave comes up and crashes and goes up a couple 100 feet up in the air. There's this big spray that it gives off. And then in the distance, you have another island much further in the distance that you can see. And then in the middle, in between those two islands, you can see whales breaching. It is the most magnificent view and feel, and the weather is perfect all the time. And when I say the weather is perfect in Hawaii, I mean it's perfect. I remember going there, and the first thing I asked the realtor when I was trying to find a place was, what are the good areas? Like I was thinking more coming from a big city, like where would the crime be? And he goes, "Oh, we don't do that here." He says, "You pick where you want to live based on the type of weather you want to have." So like up here, over here is a dry kind of weather, and over here, it's a little bit more windy, etc. So it's basically, it's beautiful all the time. And also at the time, this is 20 plus years ago, and when you look in the newspaper, I think it's like on the second page or third page, I don't remember, but birthdays was what the news was. So when it's your birthday, you can see someone's birthday in the newspaper. Now, isn't that much, much better than the news that we have today, where every time you turn on a news channel, it's just negative all the time? And so, those are some of the beautiful memories that I have, and going snorkeling for 4 hours and seeing turtles and, and all different type of tropical fish. It's just so absolutely amazing.